Biafra, a name that resonates deeply with a history of struggle and aspirations for independence. As we move into future, the question arises, how do African countries view Biafra's quest for independence? How African countries view Biafra's quest for independence in 2024 to 2025? While many African countries have fought hard for their freedom from colonial rule, Biafra's fight is notably different. It represents a push for secession from one of the largest and most powerful African nations, Nigeria. This situation poses the question, how are African countries reacting to Biafra's resurgence? Let's dive into the intricate politics behind their positions, understanding Nigeria's influence. For most African countries, Nigeria is a key player on the continent. It boasts one of Africa's largest economies, largely due to its vast oil exports. According to recent data, Nigeria accounts for over 20% of Africa's GDP, making it a significant economic powerhouse. The country holds substantial political influence through organizations like the African Union, AU, and the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS. Given this context, many African leaders face a dilemma. Supporting Biafra could jeopardize their relationship with Nigeria, affecting trade, diplomacy, and regional stability, a legacy of colonial borders. Many leaders across the continent are wary of maintaining the borders that were established during colonial rule. This fear stems from a historical context where supporting Biafra's independence could potentially trigger a domino effect, encouraging other separatist movements across Africa. It raises a crucial concern. Could we see a resurgence of independence movements that could destabilize nations? Consider Cameroon, for example, which is currently grappling with the ongoing Anglophone crisis. A significant portion of the population feels marginalized and has expressed desires for greater autonomy. Similarly, Ethiopia has been embroiled in conflict due to the Tigray region's quest for independence. Many African nations dealing with their internal struggles hesitate to support Biafra openly, fearing it might embolden their separatist groups. The dilemma of solidarity. However, not all African countries are entirely silent on Biafra. Some nations have a history of supporting self-determination movements. Take South Sudan, for example. It gained independence from Sudan in 2011 after enduring decades of war. Leaders who advocated for South Sudan's independence might find parallels in Biafra's quest. The question arises, will they take a stance that favors Biafra's desire for autonomy? While South Sudan's case illustrates that independence is possible, it also highlights immense challenges. After gaining independence, South Sudan faced years of civil war, political instability, and ongoing economic struggles. This reality might be one reason many African leaders are hesitant to back Biafra. They understand that even if independence is achieved, the path to peace and stability is fraught with challenges. The role of the African Union. Historically, the African Union has adopted a conservative stance on separatist movements, emphasizing the importance of maintaining stability within existing states over redrawing borders. The AU's approach is largely rooted in the fear of sparking further conflict across the continent. Consequently, it's not surprising that we haven't seen substantial official support for Biafra from other African leaders. This silence from the AU is telling. Many African nations find themselves caught between the desire to support the right to self-determination and the need to preserve political stability across the continent. Nigeria's diplomatic weight. Furthermore, the diplomatic weight of Nigeria itself cannot be understated. As a major contributor to peacekeeping missions across Africa and a leader in regional organizations, Nigeria holds considerable sway over many countries. For those nations that rely on Nigeria's economic and political support, backing Biafra's independence could be seen as a dangerous gamble that may jeopardize their own national interests. The Biafran movement and African unity. But here's the thing, the Biafran movement isn't going away. As the struggle intensifies in 2024 to 2025, Nnamdi Kanu, despite being imprisoned, continues to exert significant influence over the Biafran restoration movement. Kanu's boldness in addressing the injustices faced by his people has resonated deeply, uniting supporters both within Nigeria and across the diaspora.
This persecution of the Igbo people, this orchestrated, almost global persecution of the people stops with me. It cannot happen. It can never happen. That is why we do what we do. That is why I do what I do. I am campaigning for the freedom of my people because of the persecution that we are facing. It's as simple as that. Nothing more, nothing less. You will understand the vacuousness, the emptiness of what the fight is against me. They kept switching the charges.
Yes.
They said I committed this crime in England, isn't it?
Yes.
I made a broadcast in England.
Yes.
And in 9 charges leveled against me, this place where I committed this crime was London, United Kingdom.
Yes.
When my lawyers came to see me, I had a
defense.
discussion with them about how I'm going to defend myself.
They remove it.
I told them that no court in Nigeria has jurisdiction to try me. Because since this offense was committed in England, so they said, it's only a UK court that can give a Nigerian court the authority to proceed, isn't it?
Yes. Based on that, they remove London.
Based on that, they now amended the charge again and removed London.
Location of the
Location of the broadcast. Contrary to section 196,
174 of the Terrorism Prevention Act 2022.
in violation of their own laws. In violation of their own laws. And you want me to stand trial under such circumstances? Is that possible? Nnamdi Kanu to stand trial where these shenanigans are going on? It's not possible.
His ability to articulate the vision for an independent Biafra keeps the movement alive, igniting hope and determination among Biafrans. However, Kanu's imprisonment raises questions about the future of his strategies. The loyalty of his supporters and their commitment to his message will be crucial as the movement evolves. Kanu's emphasis on peaceful advocacy is vital, but can it sustain momentum against the backdrop of a rapidly changing political landscape? Simon Ekpa, whose leadership of the Biafra Republic government in exile, BRAGI, and Biafra Liberation Army, BLA, has introduced new dimension and more controversial approach.
What I'm saying now is not a joke. I'm telling you the fact. The redeclaration of Biafra is fast approaching. We've started the legitimization of the Nigeria terrorist representative in Biafra territory, but today we are officially calling on them to withdraw them immediately. We also call on Cameroon and Nigeria to unconditionally release all of our citizens incarcerated in their prisons. Martin Kanu and every other person from Biafra. Likewise, the Amazonians. After today, there will be no room for negotiation other than the day for independence or the declaration of the Biafra Republic.
Biafra Republic government in exile. And after you have voted for the open gate for the Biafra Freedom, which is 100% vote, this charter has become a law and therefore shall be called the Biafra Helsinki Declaration 2024.
Ekpa's strategies are characterized by a call to action, urging Biafrans to adopt a more assertive stance against the Nigerian government. His rhetoric resonates particularly with younger Biafrans who feel an urgent need for change.
We want to use the opportunity to call every personnel, Biafra personnel or Biafra person serving in Nigeria Army, Nigeria Police, Nigeria Navy, Nigeria Air Force. If you are serving in all these institutions mentioned now and you are very close to Biafra land or you are in Biafra land, resign. Resign! They bring you to Biafra, resign, because once you have that uniform on, we don't know who you are. You are the enemy and you are our enemy. This is a last warning and last call for you to resign. If you are deployed to Biafra territory to kill, pull off your cloth and resign, and look for contact where you can contact me or some of your group if you want to serve the Biafra army or the Biafra forces. You are welcome. You will be treated and respected. Biafra will value you, and once you fight for Biafra, it is something that you should be proud of. So every one of you that are serving within Biafra territory, today is your last day. Both police, today is your last day. Army, today is your last day. Navy, today is your last day. Except you are not in Biafra land. If you are not in Biafra land, it is your problem. You can die in the north, that is your business. Pull off your clothes and stop killing Biafrans. We'll catch you in that uniform, it does not matter who you are gone.
Advocating for self-defense and direct confrontation against perceived injustices. Many views EKPA's boldness as a necessary response to oppression, others worry it could lead to violence and instability. The Biafra Republic Government in Exile, BRG, is actively pursuing international support through various diplomatic efforts. They engage with officials in the U.S. government and other countries to raise awareness and garner support. BRG seeks formal recognition from international bodies, emphasizing human rights and self-determination for Biafrans. Their representatives participate in international conferences to present their case and build alliances with other separatist movements like the Ambazonia of Cameroon and human rights organizations. African leaders will have to grapple with a tough decision whether to align themselves with Nigeria's unity or to support Biafra's right to self-determination. This issue transcends national borders. It's an African issue that could reshape the future of the continent. Biafra's quest for independence is not merely about altering borders, it encompasses deeper themes of identity, freedom, and justice. As Biafrans push forward with their movement, the responses from other African countries will be pivotal in shaping not just Biafra's future, but the broader narrative of Africa itself, engaging the audience. So what do you think? Should African countries take a stand in support of Biafra's quest for independence, or is the risk of instability too great? I want to hear your thoughts. Let me know in the comments below. And remember, if you're interested in more in-depth analysis on Africa's most pressing issues, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Closing text on screen. Subscribe for more videos on Biafra's quest for independence, Biafra's struggle, and global movements for independence.